Hey everyone, welcome back again. After a long time we are meeting each other. So welcome back with another session of history. So today our topic of discussion, that is the first cities. Now in the previous sessions we have already discussed about the Stone Age and all those stuff. So here today we will discuss how human beings started to started to live a settled life, and how they developed themselves into much more civilized version. Alright. Now when we talk about the first cities, first thing first, early humans, they began to live a settled life when they transitioned from the hunting, gathering to farming. Alright. So they understood the importance of farming and they began to live a settled life after focusing in that farming and agriculture stuff. Now, once early humans, they decided to live in one place, they also started living in groups, and thus these marked the beginning and foundation of a civilization. Alright. Now, when we talk about civilization, what is this civilization means? Now, civilization is basically defined as an advanced stage of human development. So where human as a community, they achieve the highest level of organization socially, culturally and politically. Alright, so where they understand the importance of staying together and as a community, and where they achieve social structure, cultural structure and political well-being also. Alright, now when we talk about this civilization, so what are the basic characteristics of a civilized group of people or civilization you can call? Now first thing, that is a settled life. Yes, without leading a nomadic life, particularly staying in a proper place, a settled life where they will have the work to do so that it will help them to feed their babies and family members. So that is the most important one. Second is, yes, of course, growth of towns. So where slowly, steadily, there will be lots of buildings and growth of towns will be there. Alright, cities, towns, places, buildings and all this stuff. Surplus production, yes, to meet the need of the family members and also to produce for the major percentage of the population, for the other people also. Okay, that is the surplus production of the agricultural products. Okay, now permanent building structures. Now as we have permanent, there must be permanent building structure, there must be permanent homes and settlements for the people. So all these things. Development of language and script. Yes, there must be a developed language, the well-versed language you can call it. So there must be the development of language and also script on that particular language is written, and a culture secured by a strong political system. There must be a proper cultural system, there must be proper culture, so secured by a strong political system. So all these are the basic characteristics of civilization. Alright. Now we all know that civilization slowly transitioned into different urban centers. Alright, different urban centers like buildings and all this stuff. Now in those time, in the early period, the Harappan sites that were defined as the urban centers. These Harappan sites were defined as the urban centers. These include different places, like the places such as Harappa, Ganeriwala, Mohenjo-daro, Dholavira, Kalibangan, Rakhigarhi, Ropar and Lothal. So all these are the different urban centers in the early periods in the Indus Valley Civilization, in those periods. Alright, now today when we talk about these early cities, so the first thing, the first major breakthrough that the researchers got, that was the Indus Valley Civilization. Alright, now this civilization first appeared in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. Alright, and it's around 3000 BCE. Understood? Now the large cultural zone that has been identified as the Indus Valley Civilization, it's basically spread across present day Pakistan as well as in India. Alright, it's not that it's only in India, so it's also located in Pakistan. Now, the first major two sites to be excavated in the Indus Valley Civilization, these two sites basically are Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. But coincidentally, both of these sites, they lie in present-day Pakistan. Alright, they lie in present-day Pakistan. This is also a fact. Now, since Harappa was one of the first sites to be excavated, the Indus Valley Civilization is also known as the Harappan Civilization. Understood? So this is another thing. Now, so all these are all these are about the Indus Valley Civilization. So now let's talk about the extent of the Indus Valley Civilization, how far it extended. Now, the extent of the Indus Valley Civilization includes provinces of Punjab, that is both in Pakistan and India, parts of western Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, northern Rajasthan, Sindh in Pakistan, Gujarat, alright, that is a major portion of Gujarat, and also northeastern and southern Balochistan, that is also in Pakistan. So these are the extent of the Indus Valley Civilization. Alright, now except all this, like there are more than 1,000 sites that belong to the Indus Valley Civilization. Understood? Now, many Indus Valley sites are now a part of present-day Pakistan, and this includes the first two cities to be discovered, that is Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. As I said, so these two are located in Pakistan. You can see the map over here. All the locations are given. All right. Now, in India, if we see, in India, the Indus Valley sites includes like Lothal, Dholavira, Kalibangan, Ropar, Banavli, Kordeji, and Chanhudaro. Alright, so all these places, these are like these are the sites which comes which are in India. Alright, now when we talk about the Indus Valley script, so the Indus Valley script is yet to be deciphered. Alright, the Indus Valley script is yet to be deciphered. So all this script, the whole script is not yet deciphered properly. So therefore, what happens is the sources to reconstruct the history of this period are very limited. Are not much, are very limited to the archaeological sources. Now, once historians are successful in deciphering the Indus script, we will able to learn more about this great civilization. So although we have less percentage of limited sources, so still like the Indus script is a corpus of symbols produced by the Indus Valley Civilization. As you can see the pictures here. So most inscriptions containing these symbols are extremely short, making it difficult to judge whether or not these symbols constituted a script used to record a language or even symbolize a writing system. So basically we don't have a proved thing, that is whether these symbols are like used to record a language or to symbolize a writing system. We don't have that proof. Only we just have all these things. Now, if we talk about the writing and script stuff, the Indus writing in its we came to its full developed form, and it can be dated around like 2600 to 1900 BCE. So during that period of time, so Indus Valley people, they developed their writing skills. All right. So these are the things. Now when we talk about these Indus Valley civilizations, so another thing is till 2008 more than 1,000 cities and settlements related to the Indus Valley civilization have been found. Alright, so this is the last update we have. Now along with all this, so let's discuss a few features of the Indus Valley civilization. So when we talk about the features of the Indus Valley civilization, so the features of the Indus Valley civilizations were way ahead of their time. Now archaeological sources, they suggest that the Indus Valley people led an advanced cultural life. Now it was an urban civilization, of course. Alright, now historians and archaeologists, they have observed the following features in the Indus Valley civilization. Now, first thing first, that is a highly developed sense of town planning. Yes, children, So they had a very well developed town planning, sense of town planning. They understood how to deal with the things, as we bring engineers right now to make our homes and all. So they had a highly developed sense of town planning and also a well developed drainage system. Yes, as we have in our house a small drain that connects all the rooms and bathrooms and all those stuff, and the small drain again gets connected to the bigger public drains. So they had that system. They had that developed sense of making a proper town planning and proper drainage system. All right. Secondly, they have the red and black pottery with animal, bird, plants and other geometric designs. So pottery was one of the major things that they did along with the agricultural stuff. So they did with red and black pottery along with the different kinds of design, animal design, bird designs, plants and other geometric designs. Whatever they knew, whatever they understood, so they tried to put it in there. Alright, along with that, a large number of seals were done, like tablets, like seals were there, where they engraved different kinds of stuff, symbols and all these things. Okay, now one more important thing is, as you can see the structures here, architecture of the Indus Valley Civilization here. So you can see all the buildings. So all these structures are not done with normal stones. Alright, so they used baked and sun-dried mud bricks in construction, you can see. So they understood the importance of that bricks. Okay, so that's why they used them. Now next is that practice of burying the dead. Now we all know that previously when human beings used to lead hunters and gatherers life, so whenever somebody used to die, they used to throw them in somewhere in the jungle, and the animals used to have it, the dead bodies and scavengers and all. So but slowly and steadily they understood the burying the dead, that was very important. Alright, so they started to do that. And lastly, that is the presence of a well developed religion. Yes, as they started to build up a community, as they started to stay as a community, as a group of people, so they had the presence of well developed religion, to follow a particular religion. It can be anything, they are local also, though we don't have the proofs of all those, we don't have the evidences regarding that, but they still had that well-versed religion stuff and all. Okay, so one by one we will see this. Now first thing, that is, as we have discussed about the town planning, proper town planning. Yes children, so town planning is one of the most spectacular feature of the Indus Valley Civilization. Alright, now you can see the pictures here. The cities were well planned and followed a grid pattern. Grid pattern, as you can see, that is in rectangular blocks. Alright, you can see all are in rectangular blocks. Now all these, each house had a courtyard and a separate area for bathing. Alright, that is also an important term. So all these areas, you see, they have a proper courtyard and also they have a separate area for bathing. They understood that bathing, that is a private stuff, so they planned in their structures in that way. Now burned bricks, one of the most important thing in their town planning, that was burned bricks were used in construction. As I said, burned and the sun-dried bricks, those were used in construction. So the streets, you can see the streets were wide and cut at right angles. Alright, all were L-shaped. Now the drainage system was one of the remarkable feature in their town planning, and all the drains were covered and each house had its own drainage system, and that was connected to the public drains, as we have right now, as we have in our place. Okay, so they started these things from that time only, and still this process, these are going on among us. Alright, now along with the town planning, other things that is the important building structures that were found in the Indus Valley Civilization. This includes like the Great Bath and the Great Granary. Alright, so first thing, that is the Great Bath. Now what is this Great Bath? Now the Great Bath was a rectangular pool made of bricks. It's a kind of swimming pool, you can call it. Alright, now with the help of bitumen and tar, it was made watertight so that the water couldn't flow outside. Alright, now there were two flights of steps on either side to enter the pool. As you can see the picture, two sides, on the either side there are steps, so where they used to enter into the pool. Alright, Now it also had separate rooms for changing clothes. So they had this idea, they had this feeling about like changing clothes and bathing was private stuff. So they made their separate rooms for changing clothes. Now this great bath was a public pool that perhaps had some religious significance attached to it. Now many people, they have bathed prior to some special occasions as well. So as this gate was, it was like the people followed it as a religious like significance. It has religious significance. So that's why whenever they had these some religious occasions or some pujas and all these different stuff, so they used to come take bath in this pool, and after that they used to go. So basically this great bath has seriously a religious significance to it. Now when we talk about the Great Granary, we have now to store the surplus grains, when the production is the surplus production. So to store the surplus grains, the Indus Valley people, they build large granaries. Alright, now the excavations at Mohenjo-daro, Harappa and Rakhigarhi, they reveal massive buildings that were used to store food grains. Alright, massive buildings that were used to store food grains. Now another observation made about the granaries is their proximity to river banks. So basically these granaries were built near the river banks. Alright, now the granaries may have been built near the river banks so that the fruit grains could be transported easily with the help of boats and all. Okay, now the granary excavated at Harappa also has a series of circular platforms that may have been used for threshing the grains. As you can see the area, so here they used this granary for threshing grains also. Okay, now along with all this, we also have got evidences of several granaries, massive buildings with solid brick foundations and sockets for wooden superstructures. Alright, so all these things are found in the excavations of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, which are presently in Pakistan, and Rakhigarhi, we have it in India. Alright, so these are all the things. Now last thing, that is another one of the most important one, that is the citadel. Now what is the citadel? The citadel was another important structure in the Indus Valley Civilization. Alright, now the Indus Valley cities were divided into two types. One was the citadel and another was the lower town. Now what is the importance of the citadel? Now the citadel was built on a raised platform. You can see the pictures. So and what is the usefulness of it? Towards the western side. Towards the west it was. Now all important public meetings were located here. Alright, and besides the granary, a large pillared hall with long corridors was found at the citadel. Now this was basically used for public gatherings. The lower town, and you can see the lower town down here. So all these lower town, these included the rest of the cities where most of the population resided. Alright, so these are all the different features of the Indus Valley Civilization. So that's it for today. I hope this session helped you a lot, understood about this Indus Valley Civilization. So till the next time, bye bye.